Hello again, and it's time for our friendly neighborhood vocabulary lesson. These words are featured in the first 3 chapters of The Great Gatsby. So let's begin. We'll do the same format that we've always done. I'm looking for a word on this page that seems to imply having no energy, no vitality, feeling weak. Sometimes, in biological terms, if you're suffering from this or you're feeling this way, you have a lack of iron in your blood. That expression is if a person is anemic. So this is an adjective, and anemic means lacking power, lacking vitality, having no energy. A person who's anemic probably can't donate his or her blood because they don't have enough iron in it. It's very weak. Okay? Another term, which is a noun on this sheet, deals or has as its root word the idea of being haughty. So to be known for your hauteur means to be known for kind of being arrogant and sort of showing off. Myrtle Wilson at one point in the novel tries to behave with some hauteur just because she's at the apartment in the city and she changes her clothes, and now all of a sudden she's carrying herself with a certain kind of arrogance, thinking she's better than she is. Now she's in the upper class with Tom. So hauteur could be defined as simply as arrogance. If you're experiencing a certain affectation for someone, you're experiencing some kind of fondness. Your affectations would be your feelings. If someone is jovial and in a sort of plump way, we could call them corpulent, because you might say Santa is corpulent. Corpulent meaning portly, plump, chubby. At. One of those quick statements like, if you sleep with dogs, you'll wake up with fleas, would be considered an epigram. It's not what happens to you, it's how you react to what happens to you. These are remarks that express an idea in a clever way. Next year, when you're studying Alexander Pope in British literature, you'll be talking about some of his epigrams. A man's reach should exceed his grasp, or what's a heaven for? That's one of his famous ones. A little learning is a dangerous thing. That's another one from him. Cataracts, we think of this as something, as a medical condition that that causes someone to have blurred vision. So we could say that medical condition that causes blurred vision. But another meaning of it is actually a topographical meaning, and that's a large waterfall. A cataract is a large waterfall. And then I think all of us would know what grotesque is, something that is odd or unnatural in shape or appearance or behavior. Poe gave us the tales of the grotesque and the arabesque, tales that were very unnatural or very unusual. Okay, in this next batch, we're looking for an adjective that means you're not leaving anybody an opportunity to respond or deny or refuse. You're being very dictatorial. Some people talk about this kind of strike, a preemptory strike. Okay, this is an adjective, and it means leaving no opportunity for denial or refusal. it means dictatorial, like a dictator. Next on this list is an adjective that means having a really shrill sound, and that's strident. When something is harsh or cacophonous, we could call it strident. It is not harmonious, if you will. Having a harsh sound, something that is shrill. All of us have heard the parable of the prodigal son. And so when we want to make this into a noun and we talk about someone's prodigality, we're talking about their wastefulness, their extravagance. And think about the parable to help you remember this word. Prodigality is lavish abundance. Like you will see when you're reading the novel, the idea that there's just so much luxury, so much stuff. It's an example of prodigality. If you have a sort of hint, or you make a sort of hint at someone, but you're not direct in what you're saying, you could be dropping an innuendo. An innuendo is an indirect hint. She didn't catch his innuendo that was implying she was, not on time, It's usually, an innuendo is usually something that's disparaging or derogatory in nature. So I don't appreciate your little innuendos. If you think about chapter 1 in the book Gatsby, you'll recognize how Jordan and Daisy are lying there on their little sofas. They're languidly sitting in their chairs. They're doing nothing. Something that is sluggish, something that is not really having any kind of energy, kind of slowly, lazily. That's languidly. And we have 2 left. Joy and happiness is marked by levity. Right? So when you're talking about a scene of great levity, you're talking about a scene of great joy, a scene of great lightness. We think about the idea of levitating, right? And to be privy to someone's information, as Nick is privy to many of the secrets of people around him, it means that he is able to participating in knowledge that is private. To be privy to the information of the rich and famous means that you're allowed in to get those secrets. And our last 2 words here are pretty simple. Subterfuge, you've probably heard that before. A subterfuge is some kind of artifice or behavior that you use to escape a rule or a consequence. By means of subterfuge, she got out of completing the assignment. So a subterfuge would be, or let's make it singular, an artifice or trick used to evade a rule or to get out of something, to escape a consequence or to hide something. And then lastly, supercilious is an adjective. You could say that this is the adjective form of hauteur, because when someone's supercilious, they are haughty, they are arrogant, and pompous, and conceited. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the words for chapters 1 to 3 of Gatsby.